how to create and deliver an impactful presentation. Now, I work as a learning facilitator, and pretty much every day I deliver presentations to new people from mid and senior management. And my job is to ensure that people listen to me, they buy in into what I'm saying, and they learn from me, which is why I have to make sure that all my presentations are extremely impactful. I'm going to share my process today and all my learnings today to help you create and deliver impactful presentations. But before we go forward, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on social media. I share bite-sized tips on creating impactful presence. This is Deepika Singh. Welcome back to my channel. Let's start at the beginning. You have a brief and now you have to create a presentation. The mistake most of us make is to open our laptop, open a new PPT file, and then stare at it. What am I going to write on this slide? What is going to be the title? What is going to be the color scheme? The problem is that our brain, for anything new, cannot think in parts. It thinks as a whole. So the first thing to do is to take a piece of paper, a notebook, and a pen and pencil, and in a very old school way, take everything which is in your head about the concept or the idea or the pitch or the proposal and put it on that piece of paper. It doesn't matter if there is no flow, it doesn't matter if there is no structure. But everything in your head about the topic on which you have to make that presentation, put it on the piece of paper. Even if it is in a very jumbled way, it doesn't matter. But every idea, everything in your head should be on that piece of paper first and not on a PPT file on your laptop. The next thing to do is to look at that piece of paper and then start putting structure. What's going to be the beginning? What is going to be the end? Can I add a little story here? Can I add a little anecdote here? Shall I delete this portion? Shall I add something new here? What is going to be the second thing that I'm going to say? So you start working on the meat of all the content that you've put in, and you also start building structure. On the piece of paper, we still haven't opened our laptops and we still haven't started a new PPT file. So create structure on that piece of paper, scratch out things, tell yourself what is going to come first, what is going to come second. And on that piece of paper now, you've made a little structure. And now we open the PPT file on our laptop. Once you have the structure on a piece of paper, it becomes far easier to translate that structure onto a slide deck. Because now you know what the flow is. You know what is going to be on slide number 1, what is going to be on slide number 2, what is going to be on slide number 3, right? That bit you've worked out on paper. Since the paper is one whole in front of you, it becomes easier to do that. Since the slide deck is slide by slide in front of you, that's what makes it difficult, right? So take the structure from your paper and now translate it onto a slide deck on your laptop or computer. Once you have transferred all the content, now you beautify it. So if you need to add a graph somewhere, you need to add an image somewhere, you need to put a link to a video somewhere, now you work on making the presentation as complete as possible. So you add all the little bits in terms of design, in terms of all of these additions that you want to do to add to your content. Remember one thing, keep the matter on the presentation as less as possible. Only the most important points, and also avoid long sentences. Short keywords, short bullet points is more than enough. Everything else you talk about. You have to remember that people can't pay attention to two things in front of them. Either they will listen to you or they will read the slide deck behind you. Which one would you rather have? I know that a lot of people would rather have people read the slide deck behind them and take the spotlight away from themselves. But that is not an impactful presentation. You are the presentation. So you ensure that you speak as much as possible and take their eyes away from the slide deck behind you to yourself. Now your slide deck is ready. And now we prepare. So look at your presentation and turn it into a story in your head. Let me give you an example. If I asked you to narrate the story of your favorite movie to me, you would be able to do that, right? You would remember the beginning, you would remember the end, you would remember the flow. You may forget a scene or two in between, but it won't matter. You will be able to tell me the essence of that story. Your presentation should be like that. You should know the essence of the story. What is it that you're trying to tell people? What is this concept? What is this idea? What is this proposal? What is this pitch? That story should be in your head. So your PPT is now like a story in your head. And just to make it easier for you to remember, turn the presentation into bullet points, which means take every section of your presentation and turn it into bullet points and remember the bullet points. To make it even more easy, take a piece of paper and write down the bullet points and carry that piece of paper with you, so that in case you're getting confused, in case you're forgetting, all you need to do is to glance down on that piece of paper and you know about what you have to speak next. Remember, the bullet points cannot be long sentences because you look down and you'll keep reading and then you'll get even more confused. Just 1 or 2 words should be enough just for you to glance down and remember what you have to talk about. Now we're ready to deliver the presentation. Remember, when you walk up to deliver a presentation, they see you before they hear you. So ensure that you have great body language and that you inspire confidence. So stand tall, stand straight, put your shoulders back, smile. A great tip is to stand with your feet directly underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart, and your weight equally distributed on both your feet. It's a very grounding posture and it makes you look and feel very confident. Use body language to convey what you're saying and not just your words. A question I often get asked is, where do I look? Whom do I make eye contact with? Very simple. In every audience, there will be friendly faces. These are people who look as nervous as you are. They want you to succeed. They will look at you and smile and nod their heads. Those are your friendly faces. When you start a presentation, focus on your friendly faces because that's where you will draw your energy from. That's where you will draw positivity from. But as you get into the flow, also look at the rest of the people in the audience because it's very important to read the room, which means the expressions on people's faces should tell you, are you going too slow? Are you going too fast? Have you elaborated a point too much? Is somebody confused with a certain point you have said? It is very important to take immediate feedback and read the room. It will help you to incorporate that feedback silently into your presentation. So for example, at some point, if everyone's looking confused, stop and ask, was that clear? Should I explain that again? So reading the room will make your presentation extremely impactful, and you have to learn to do that. And one of the reasons we are unable to do that is because during a presentation or during public speaking, we think the spotlight is on us. You have to turn the spotlight on the audience. We feel that, oh my God, everyone's looking at us, everyone's judging us. But the minute you take the spotlight away from you and put it on the audience, are they getting what I'm saying? Are they buying into what I'm saying? Are they interested? The minute you do that, it becomes easier to read the room. So take the spotlight away from yourself and put it on the audience. What if you still forget during a presentation? It's perfectly okay. Be authentic. It's very relatable when you're authentic. So just say, oops, I seem to have forgotten what comes next. Let me look up my notes again, or let me just look at my slide deck again. So just admit that you've forgotten what comes next. Pause, breathe, take a sip of water, and then continue. Always face the audience when you're presenting. A lot of us turn sideways and then start looking at the slide deck behind us and start reading from there. The minute you do that, you have stopped connecting with the audience. You're not engaging with the audience anymore. You have lost touch with your audience. In case you do need to refer to data points or something on your slide deck, keep the laptop in front of you and refer to the slide deck in front of you. Resist the urge to turn around and refer to the slide deck behind you. And keep connecting with the audience. Even if you're reading something from the slide deck, and even if you have to refer a lot for some data points, etc., remember to keep looking up and engaging with the audience and making eye contact with the audience. Which is why always stand facing the audience and not sideways away from the audience. Use your body language and your voice to create impact, not just your words. Keep your hands in front of you, smile, walk forward slightly when you have something interesting to say or when you want to drive home a point. Similarly, use your voice. Slow down when you want to emphasize something. Increase your speed when you want to create a lot of energy. Emphasize on a few points. Pause when you must. And all of this you can train yourself to do. Your body language and your voice can help you create a lot of impact, but you have to train yourself in how you can create impact with them. So work on good body language and work on using your voice to the maximum possible in modulating your voice. Last but not the least, I repeat, you are the presentation. People will buy into you. People will draw confidence from you. People want to see what you have to say, how you will execute an idea, how confident you are about what you're saying. So you are the presentation. Stop relying on the deck behind you and stop relying on the presentation behind you. Just use it for data. But ultimately, you have to convince the audience in front of you. You have to, you have to lead to the outcome. Remember, a presentation is only a means to an end. It is not the end. So you can't give a presentation and then go sit down and then say, oh my God, thank God it's over. It's not. Have you got the desired outcome or not? An outcome for a presentation can only be two, an action or a feeling. An action would be, yes, I love the idea. Let's put down budgets for this marketing plan. A feeling would be worry. Yes, our numbers are going down. We need to do something about it. Has your desired outcome been met? That is the most important thing. So you are the presentation. Live that presentation. I hope these points really help you. I know that public speaking and giving presentations can be extremely overwhelming, but it need not be. The minute you put all of these into play and you start practicing these tips, you will start to enjoy giving a presentation, because ultimately it is about sharing your vision, your idea, and what you've been working on with an audience. This is Deepika Singh. I hope you derive value from this video. Don't hesitate to leave behind questions in the comments, and I will definitely come back with replies. Till next time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to follow me on social media. Bye-bye.